love the city of Detroit and love what I do now.
It's where I'm from, born and raised. I love it here.
It's the grit, it's the opulence, it's all of that.
Create something or somebody go tell you what to do.
You gotta bet on yourself.
This is Container on the Metro, a series uplifting the voices of Detroit creatives across food, art, music, and fashion. I'm Tia Graham. This episode, we'll say what up, though, to Bevlove.
The sky is red and burning. 11:30 on a Friday. Morning and I'm swerving. Reckless on the highway.
You're hearing Crying at the Beach, a collaboration between Bevlove and Flint's Tunde Olaniran. Bevlove is a Detroit R&B songstress who uses her words to paint pictures over smooth productions. Bevlove grew up understanding the power of music. Like so many Detroiters, church played a huge role in fostering Bev's musical curiosities. The fellowship and hallelujah choruses were all building blocks for the way Bev performs today. We discuss what church meant to her growing up in the city.
Oh, wow. I mean, Jesus was everything. Like, I used to hear trains at night, and I thought it was David's trumpets coming. Like, I was deep. I was tied in. I was like...
It's happening.
I was like, all right, we is going to heaven, y'all.
Wrap it up.
It's time. Yes, Jesus is coming for me first. But yeah, it was beautiful. The community, the confidence you get from performing in front of people, making people catch the Holy Ghost, like that sort of thing still translates to my music today. Like, I don't want people just sitting there. Like, I want people standing up and shouting.
Exactly. And
So,
which I've
yeah.
seen at your performances. People are up and dancing, which once again is something that's rare that you don't even really see in the clubs or just in spaces in general anymore. People just coming together and people are dancing and having a good time, which was like, okay,
I love
here
that.
we go.
I love that.
But just staying where we are, talking about being in church, was that where you got your start, was singing in the choir?
Yep, definitely. I mean, I was singing in the choir. Since my mom was a musician, I was at every rehearsal. So I sang in all the choirs, like old people choir, young people. I was in all the choirs. And then once I got to high school, then I started performing, outside of the church as well.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's where I started, was church.
Music is in Bevlove's blood. Growing up on Schoolcraft and Evergreen on Detroit's West Side with parents who were both musicians. Both were soul singers and instrumentalists. Her mother played the organ and piano, and her father played the kalimba, an African thumb piano, which he taught himself. Being surrounded by creative souls shaped the way Bevlove moves through the world. And with the support of her parents and her church community, she was exposed to Detroit's finest at a young age.
I actually grew up in Aretha Franklin's church. So
no wonder.
Yes. So outside of just my parents, but she would come like maybe twice a year, and she would turn the air conditioner off, and we all had to sit in there and sweat because she didn't want that air on her voice, even if she wasn't singing at church that day.
What did that teach you even early on as a vocalist?
It taught me boundaries. Like, to this day, if I'm at somebody's house or in the studio and, they want to keep the studio code, hey, I say it politely, like, hey, can we turn that off? Because Mama Riri told me, honey, that air does mess up. Now, she smoked a pack a day, but we could not put that air on. It was the air.
The cigarettes.
But yeah, that just taught me boundaries. Like, stand up for yourself.
When did you know that you wanted to be a vocalist?
So that's crazy. I actually wanted to be an actor. And then I didn't like the audition thing of it all. I didn't like I don't know. It just felt weird to me to be working so hard to end up getting a commercial. Like, no offense to people, but I wanted to actually make art. And then once I graduated from college, came back home, and it was like an isolating experience because I was used to being, immersed with my friends all the time. I started writing music, and that's when I felt, because I didn't want to be a cover singer. So when I felt like I had the strength and the chops to write my own stuff, that's when I really felt like, okay, I can do this as a career.
Just another day, sit back. All these boys keep talking my head. In another day I'll be that. That's why I'm stacking my brains. stay out the way, cause you switch teams, I don't wanna play. I'm a free agent, playing so long, just fuck around and leave the game. If you can't get the ring with who you started,
you're listening to one of Bevlove's early tracks, Leave With Me, released in 2016 when she was still living in Los Angeles. Bev talks about the culture of LA being a bustling, competitive scene where everyone went out each day to find work. She enjoyed the times on the West Coast, yet something just wasn't right. And a performance at Detroit's Willis Show Bar in 2022 and her missing her family made it clear that she needed to return home to the D. While Detroit's arts community was one thing that attracted her back to the city, getting out of her own way and actually releasing the music was a whole other situation.
See, I think the most difficult thing for me is what I think for a lot of people is getting in our own way. Mm-hmm. You know, just... It's so funny that somebody could give you 1 million compliments, and the one thing that replays for you is that one bad YouTube comment. Yep. It's like you wake up in the middle of the night, and it's like that one thing would be like, oh, that's why I'm holding on to the rest of my stuff. So, yeah, I think it's just about actually putting everything that I'm sitting on out. My run, my real first run here was 9 years ago with Do What I Say, with a Simple Sound and all of that, and somewhere along the way, it was just like, okay, what do I want my sound to sound like? So I'm sitting on all this music trying to collect my sound instead of putting it out. So I think that's what's been the most difficult for me. Not so much, you know, is it my own merit? It's like, girl, get out your head and get on that paper. Get on that wax.
It's a breath of fresh air to hear somebody that sounds so fun and so confident at what they do.
Entering Booster, a singer-songwriter, composer, and producer right here from the city of Detroit with his own recording studio. Booster works closely with Bevlove, especially with releasing new music this year. Booster says he met Bevlove through her sister a few years ago, watched her perform, and instantly felt her spark. He says the two clicked and understood each other artistically. And he also says when it's time to get down to business, Bevlove takes rehearsing and crafting her art seriously while keeping the vibes right.
Bev is a hard worker from the standpoint of we still have fun in rehearsals. You know what I'm saying? But at the drop of a dime, Bev would say, all right, let's get back on track, y'all. Like, she's the person that can keep things in line, but not let a good time ruin the frequency of what's going on. And so I really think that her work ethic, as well as her flexible understanding of the people in that environment, really allows for like rehearsal spaces and working with her period to be very, very fun.
Yeah, and how would you describe Bevlove's sound, especially like right now?
Bev's sound right now is very empowering. I think that she is, through her music, allowing her listeners, I think specifically allowing women to get an empathetic perspective. And so a lot of things that she speaks about and sings about in her music, I think the listeners will have a really good chance to like connect with her based on situations in their own lives. So I think right now her music is about empowerment, it's about fun, and it's about freedom.
And talking about her music right now, like you just did, why should people listen to Bevlove?
I think that people should listen to Bevlove because she is great at what she does. There is a lot of artists going unnoticed and unheard simply because so many bigger artists are being pushed so heavy. I think that a good reason to listen to Bevlove is to get a really good breath of fresh air.
Let's just run it through right quick with just the keys.
I visited Booster's studio off 4th Street in the shadow of the Ambassador Bridge, where he and Bev were rehearsing for an upcoming performance. They set up sound equipment, warmed up, and began to practice Bev's unreleased track, Tiffany Skies.
Free all my sons, speed it up though. Free all my sons, everybody say, free all my sons, Say, nobody ever makes it from right. around where you came.
During Bev's rehearsal, I was curious about Booster's thoughts on Bev's new music and what stands out about Tiffany Skies.
The song itself just feels really good. I'll be honest with you. I'm the kind of person where the music itself has to catch my attention. So a lot of times the lyrics take me a minute. I feel Bev's record so deeply on Tiffany Skies that I pay attention to the lyrics. And so it was like being a part of it was really good, being like in the midst of the song, if that makes sense. Yeah, I just think it's a great piece of art. I look at all of these songs as like paintings that Bev is painting, and I think that the strokes on Tiffany Skies are just very different.
Like Tiffany Skies.
Bev has been collaborating with folks like Booster and other producers, hoping to build community through music, helping make a way for the music to move through and out of Detroit to larger audiences. Detroit is a majority Black city, and often due to systemic roadblocks, a lot of opportunities that should be afforded to Detroiters go elsewhere. She says it's unfortunate the money and support haven't been readily available.
People try to say that that is a bad thing that it's a majority Black city. And I don't think that's what the bad thing is. I think the opportunities that are not afforded to the Black people here is what's the bad part. Like, give us some more opportunities, make some more opportunities. That's what we do. Detroit makes our own. But if we had industries that weren't like outsourcing or taking advantage of our labor, then it would be even cooler to be a Black city because people could sustain themselves.
To you, what does that Detroit look like when we have local artists and local talent here as a community, as one, helping one another? So if that person's on, I'm going to be on, but I'm going to help that person too. Like, what does that look like to you?
I think it looks like honesty first. I think it looks like setting aside some egos, which I have done and done my work on. I think it looks like sacrifice. Yeah, we like to chill, but we got to get out. We got to, that was the thing about when I lived in LA. Every day was a move. You got dressed in the morning and you were out all day and you were working. You know what I mean? I think here, because we are such a chill, cool place, that it's like, if it ain't my show, I don't got to go. You know what I'm saying? So I think that is, and we are all artists.
Yes.
So like, I think that is sometimes be the audience. You know what I'm saying? Or if you do have an opportunity that you see come up, tell your friends. You don't have to tell the people you don't mess with, but tell your friends at least. Don't gatekeep. Don't be the only one that has it. And if you do have those resources, share them. But I think that it needs to be a lot more focused on documenting our shows and then putting more effort into the shows. Don't just throw the shows up there. You're not seeing that when you go to the Fillmore. Everybody who's on that tour is because they are rehearsing. It's because they have the plays, they have the songs, and they're doing the work. It's not just off of you think you sweet. Like, I think we could work harder. I do think so.
It's a theme that's starting to build. And that is the theme of like, we got to work a little harder. We got to go a little bit harder than we've been going in the creative field here in the city of Detroit, whether it's fashion or art or music. It's this idea that, we don't have to do too much in order to be cool.
Right. And it's not just about being cool. Like, I want to make the best R&B album out. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't going to be cool. So that's going to be some late nights. That's going to be all sorts of things. So, yeah, we got to get out of that cool space. We are the coolest. I feel like we the coolest city in the country. So we got that down.
What would you say is Detroit to you and your family? What does it mean to you?
I think for me, it's definitely grounding. I never used to wonder anything about my self-worth, about who I am, because everybody looked like me. And that was a very unique experience, from, the pastor to the manager to my teachers to the business owners to the mayor. Like, everybody looked like me. So when I went to college, I went to school in Dallas. It was a little bit unearthing. It took the ground from under me. When I was in LA, it kind of took the ground from under me because I didn't have that grounded feeling of safety of home. Even if I go, whatever show I go to here, the music's gonna be good. You know, the food is gonna be good. The people are gonna be cool. You know what I'm saying? So Detroit is, for me, is definitely like the center of a compass. Like wherever I go, I can be like, okay, this is north, this is south because of Detroit.
Nobody ever makes it from around where you came from. I say, well, sit back and relax and watch me while I make it. 'Cause I ain't slept in months, so I can't fake it. I want it more than life, I'll suffocate it. It's hot up in my kitchen, you can't take it. And you can't get no cake if you ain't baking. Try not to be jaded. Be glad you're alive. And don't get too faded. 'Cause you're wasting time. It ain't gonna happen till you make it. Chances only happen when you take them. Life's yellow like daisies. With Tiffany sky.
To keep up with Bevlove, you can follow her on Instagram at BevIncredible and listen to her music, available on all streaming platforms. Container on the Metro is brought to you by WDET in collaboration with the Love Building and the Gilbert Family Foundation. This series is produced by Connor Anderson, Jose Yanis, and me, Tia Graham. Original music is by Sam Bobian, audio editing by Connor Anderson, and our executive producer is David Lyons. To hear new episodes every Monday, subscribe to the Metro's podcast feed on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube. Learn more at WDET.org/container.